I kept a lot of Cassie's jeans. I take her lingerie. Mainly just the jeans. Hi Glamour, I'm Sweeney, and today I'm going to be breaking down some of my favorite TV and movie looks. Okay, so The Handmaid's Tale, 2018. I played Eden, our beautiful costume designer, Anne Crabtree. She's so beyond talented. It was really cool. For my first fitting, she just kind of had the fabric and would drape it all around me and take pictures of it being draped in different ways. She then would sketch up different ideas, and it was like dreaming of this character together. That was my first time really experiencing like fashion in television. Anne really wants to make sure that you can move and be free in anything that you're wearing for the characters. And then a technical part of the costume that I thought was brilliant. A lot of times when we have to get mic'd and wear like our mic packs, we're like shoving and trying to hide it in like under our bra strap or under your armpit or in between your legs. And it's a very uncomfortable, unnatural layer to add to you. For these costumes, she always had the mic like sewn into a seam and you would have no idea where it was. So there was no like miking process. And then there'd be a pouch for the mic pack so they could just change the battery easily, but the wire was always like sewn into a beautiful hidden place within the costume. So you never felt like you had to put this mic on, you were just putting your character's clothing on. So Eden's white wedding costume, the child bride, we wanted to be as pure and covered up as possible. I actually wore binding underneath all of my costumes, and this was the hardest one to get the binding to work with because you're wearing white, so everything is going to be a little see-through. And so they custom made this corset that flattened my chest as much as possible. But yeah, it was an amazing process. I loved it. It was my first TV show that I really felt like I was finally doing the stuff that I dreamt of. The White Lotus, 2021. This was such a unique and exciting moment in my life. The costume designer and we had very limited options because we were quarantined in the Four Seasons and Hawaii. And so we had to get very creative with our options and what we were able to get. With Olivia, she is born into an upper middle class family with a very successful working mother, but she is pushing against everything that her mom is. So she's rebelling in her own way, where her mom is very dressed and put together, big hats and elegant, even though she's born into this and will most likely become that. She's fighting so hard against it. So we wanted to find outfits where she probably with her best friend went thrift shopping and found the most random pieces to throw together just to upset her mom. And Alex did a really great job at finding these fun pieces. I mean, there's a shirt, I think it's like either jam out with your clams out or something like that. And it was just funny. And we were like, should we? I'm like, yes, she would 1,000% wear this to piss off her mom. I naturally wear glasses and I wanted to incorporate that into Olivia's life. My eyes were bothering me really bad. So it was just, I put glasses on and we ended up liking it. So we just kind of went for it. You can tell they're my personal ones because there's a certain tint that glasses are supposed to have for on set so they don't reflect the lights and cameras, and mine didn't, so you can kind of see the reflection. And then for my hair, because I was coming right off of Euphoria, I was like, I want to somehow make my hair a little different. So I started braiding my hair every night and I'd wake up and it would be crinkled. And so we just went with it, and I was growing my hair out trying to get the blonde and make it healthier. So this is my mid-grow out phase during White Lotus. Anyone But You from 2023. Her wardrobe, I really wanted to make it as relatable as possible. I think that she's in this middle stage in her life where she's not in college and partying, and she's also not like in her adult life yet. She's trying to find this middle ground of who she is and discover who she wants to become. She has learned from past relationships and past choices, so it's made her a little harder and not as open to love and adventure as she probably should be. Amelia Gebler was really incredible to work with. I had mood boards upon mood boards and Pinterest boards, and we would send each other pictures back and forth, and I had very specific ideas of what I wanted for different scenes. And so for instance, like the yacht party scene in the blue silk dress, I sent her silhouettes that I wanted, fabrics that I wanted, and then we would just kind of like how Anne did for Handmaid's Tale, we'd pin the fabric, and I was like, okay, we need the pieces to come off the shoulder. So that was a custom piece that we made together. And then the iconic wedding standing at the Sydney Opera House, I saw that on Vogue and I took a screenshot and I sent it to both my stylist and Amelia and was like, how can we get this off the runway? So they were kind enough and let us borrow it for the filming. It was a lot of fun. Euphoria 2019 to 2022. Heidi Bivens, who's our costume designer, she had a lot of fun because she constantly is changing her looks. For season 1, she and I really wanted to have a fluid story for her, so I really wanted it to be like pale pinks and soft blues. Those are some of my favorite colors, and I wanted to put them into Cassie's story. And then season 2 was really fun because all of a sudden Cassie is trying to become these other girls that Nate is dreaming of, and so she is taking looks from like Hunter's character and Alexa's character and incorporating them into her own style. Her Oklahoma look, I think, will forever follow me everywhere I go. It was really fun being able to play with different patterns and just crazy looks to dive into whenever Donnie and I are creating Cassie's makeup looks, because we're just dreaming of anything and everything. And like she has our faces all drawn out, and then she'll present different makeup ideas on these like binders of us, and we'll go through and be like, ooh, we love like the jewel placement here, but I love like the sparkles and the shadows from this picture. And so we'll kind of like mix and match and put it all together, and it's like playing dress up. I kept a lot of Cassie's jeans because they were all like tailored to fit me perfectly, and a lot of times jeans are too long on me because I'm short, so all of them are like perfectly hemmed to my proportions. So I steal a lot of the jeans. I take her lingerie. Mainly just the jeans. Madame Web 2023, I play Julia. She's much younger than where you meet her in the comics, so we had to make everything feel more youthful. You see her in the beginning, and then she grows and she gains all this strength, and she starts to become the woman that you're going to see in the comic books later on. The one thing that's so fun with we call them our super suits. They are so tight. What's funny is when we're training like in workout clothes, and then all of a sudden you put these suits on and you can't bend your arms and you can't bend your legs, and it's like, wait, we have to make this where you can actually move. When we first put it on and I was supposed to do this hanging upside down piece, when I was training, my legs were like perfectly flat and my feet were perfectly like all the way down to my butt. And then when I went up there for the first day of testing the costume on the harness in that spot, I couldn't even bend my legs. I was like, wait, this is the problem. This is not how Julia's supposed to pose. Like, I had to figure it out. You usually make sure you go to the bathroom beforehand, and then drink very little throughout the day so you don't have to go again. But I always felt really good in it. I loved it. I wanted to wear it more. Immaculate 2024. This is a very special project to me because I initially auditioned for a version of this film when I was 16, and they never ended up making it. And so I chased it ever since. And then last year, put the whole project together and filmed it. So this was a very, very just hands-on process for me. Our costume designer, she's based out of Italy, Francesca, she's amazing. I drew a lot of inspiration from Handmaid's Tale in my experience with Anne. I had every single layer handmade, so even underneath her black and white dress, like she has underlayers that also a sister would wear. I'm definitely very happy with how her main like sister outfit came out. We were so specific on how long the shoulder was on like the black strip and where the seam would hit on my shoulder, and where you didn't know if it was a period piece or if it was present day, and it kind of just was stuck in this like unknown. It was a very fun and hands-on and creative process for me. I think I've always kind of been a little vocal on what I like for my characters. I think it's because I do put a lot of thought and prep into building who my characters are. I build like these books for my characters that are like an interactive timeline journal for each character, where I start from the day they're born to the first page of the script. And it's like all the relationships and moments in their life and people that they might have met or the schools they go to. And it's like this diary almost, with also like a mood board and visuals. You basically like build a person. I also love seeing what like the costume designer will bring to the table, because I might be surprised and completely like, oh, whoa, this is not what I was thinking, but this is really cool, and let's like make a really cool twist on this. Honestly, though, now that I'm talking about all of them, I feel like I've been really, really fortunate. They kind of let me bring my own inspiration. I lived in a very small town. Fashion was not a thing. We were just in sneakers and overalls and Birkenstocks, and that's it. Thank you, Glamour. It's been so fun revisiting some of my favorite looks with you.